So hey, good evening folks, this is JK for the Ministry of Otaku, 14-year veteran of the anime convention scene, and today we're talking about the video game journalist Nathan Grayson. I'm using the word journalist in quotes. It's reported that the video game journalist Nathan Grayson got a job at the Washington Post. For those who do not know, Nathan Grayson is currently a writer at Kotaku, the video game blog website that's about gaming and politics. But in reality, it's more about politics. From the announcement post from sports editor Matt Vita and launcher editor Mike Hume, we are excited to announce that Nathan Grayson is joining the Washington Post to help expand our coverage of the video game and esports industry in our launcher section. Nathan comes to us from Kotaku, where he has worked since 2014 covering video game culture across a number of topics, including PC gaming, working conditions in the video game industry, Twitch, and importantly, why cats love gamer chairs. Nathan will provide additional focus to an industry that touches some 2.7 billion people worldwide, has grown since the Corona-Chan lockdowns. His point will enhance launchers coverage on how the world of gaming intersects with business, politics, sports, and technology. Before Kotaku, Nathan worked at a game website Rock Paper Shotgun, where he covered PC gaming and in an inspirational twist, taught American slang to a bunch of older British men. Nathan grew up in Dallas and attended Austin College in Sherman, Texas, where he majored in English, in media, and minored in psychology. In his free time, Nathan enjoys karaoke, MMA, which is mixed martial arts, and the Japanese manga series JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Nathan, who will be based in New York, starts August 2nd. Please join us in welcoming him to the PIS. Seriously, Nathan Grayson might be a video game journalist, but his focus is more on politics and identity politics than video games. Now here's some articles of note. On March 2nd, 2018, Nathan claimed that Kingdom Come Deliverance was a racist game because the developer Daniel Vera wanted to deliver a historically accurate game. This was based on the fact that the game wanted to be historically accurate, and the developer mocked people who say, "Why there's no black people?" by posting a screenshot of Martin Lawrence in the movie Black Knight. The article was about the game itself first, then he made it into Gamergate. Another article on October 18th, 2012, claims that the video game board V, also known as the Video, was spreading hate and bigotry because they were merely discussing Gamergate. And regarding Rock Paper Shotgun, he actually ran an article accusing Blizzard Entertainment for sexism for creating attractive costumes for women characters. Another one, people are putting video game faces on real porn, the end is nigh. He actually tried to incite a new moral panic regarding porn. And most recently on Star Citizen, Nathan Grayson wrote an article claiming that Cloud Imperial Games, the makers of Star Citizen, and there are two other games I don't remember. Yeah, I'm just going to focus on Star Citizen. The makers of Star Citizen screwed over their Austin devs during the Great Snowstorm of 2021 in Texas. On Twitter, the same Austin studio and a bunch more from CIG Studios called Nathan out on the article. Nathan then doubled down on the claims. And finally, there's OK Boomer Girl. He actually ran about it. Nothing to do with video games at all. And you all know that OK Boomer Girl turned out to be wealthy and bought a $1 million apartment while this country is facing massive evictions and unemployment due to government lockdowns. I mean, has Nathan Grayson actually covered a video game properly? He even talked about he actually made an article about Cyberpunk 2077, and he complained about all the coverage, yet he kept talking about it. I mean, seriously, Nathan is not really into video games at all. Not really. He doesn't care about video games, really. And it's typical for video game journalists to have English and media degrees. Because the real reason for getting into video game journalism is not for video games. Nathan Grayson does not actually enjoy video games. if you notice on the post announcement, it says nothing about video games, just karaoke, MMA, and Japanese manga, not video games. Most video game journalists are not into video games at all. Their real reason for getting into video game journalism is to see it as a step up from the end game, getting into a newspaper like the Washington Piss. And the Washington Piss is basically a major newspaper like the New York Live. I mean, that's the worst thing. That's the worst thing about it. That journalism is already dead, and now we have people who don't care about the topic they claim to have knowledge in, who are not hobbyist journalists, are getting into newspapers that cover these topics, that have sections dedicated to these topics, and they're going to carry the same practices they learned in blog sites such as Kotaku to the Washington Piss. I mean, and every time he gets called out on it, he'll double down. And that's the thing about these journalists, they don't actually care anymore. They don't, and on the road they're going down, they just don't care. They're only there for the money. They're only there for the fame, and they're only there for the likes and retweets from Twitter. Because video game journalism is long dead. It's all been covered by YouTube and Twitch and independent journalists like through Substack. But that's all I gotta say. Thanks for listening.